Cyber Daily News for April 17, 2026. Our top story, a joint cybersecurity advisory warns that Russia's GRU Unit 26165, tracked as APT-28 or Fancy Bear, is running an active campaign against Western logistics and technology firms supporting Ukraine. The operation has been ongoing since early 2022, targeting companies in air, sea and rail transport, plus IT service providers across the United States, Germany, Poland, France and Ukraine. Investigators say the attackers are abusing trust relationships to pivot between compromised organizations. Staying on the nation-state beat, 2 US nationals, Kejia Wang and Zhenjing Wang, have been sentenced to prison for facilitating a North Korean IT worker scheme. According to prosecutors, the pair compromised the identities of dozens of Americans to land remote jobs at over 100 US companies, funneling wages back to the regime. It's one of the largest laptop farm cases brought to date. In industry news, NIST says it will no longer fully enrich vulnerabilities reported before March 2026 in the National Vulnerability Database. Going forward, NIST will prioritize enrichment on new and actively exploited flaws, a shift driven by the record growth in reported CVEs. Security teams relying on NVD metadata for older bugs will need to plan around the gap. Next up, researchers at Darktrace have dissected ZionSiphon, a new strain of malware built to attack water treatment and desalination systems. The malware is designed to alter hydraulic pressure and push chlorine levels into unsafe territory. It includes hard-coded Israeli IP ranges and politically charged strings, though Darktrace notes parts of the implementation are incomplete, suggesting it is still under development. On the patching front, Cisco has shipped fixes for 4 critical flaws in Identity Services Engine and Webex. The worst of the lot, CVE 2026-20147, carries a CVSS of 9.9 and allows authenticated admins to pull off remote code execution on ISE. A Webex SSO certificate validation bug, rated 9.8, could let an unauthenticated attacker impersonate any user. Cisco says it has no evidence of exploitation, but admins should patch now. Still on the exploitation theme, CISA has added a critical Apache ActiveMQ flaw, CVE 2026-34197, to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. The 9.8 rated bug lives in the Jolokia JMX HTTP bridge and lets authenticated attackers load a malicious Spring XML config for remote code execution on the broker. If you run ActiveMQ, check your exposure today. And another one that's already being hit, nginx-ui, the popular web interface for managing Nginx, has a critical authentication bypass tracked as CVE 2026-33032. The 9.8 rated flaw stems from how the tool handles its model context protocol endpoints, with the MCP_message endpoint relying on IP filtering alone. Exploitation in the wild was observed shortly after the late March disclosure, and it can lead to full server takeover. Finally, some good news for defenders. Law enforcement agencies in 21 countries teamed up for Operation Power Off, seizing 53 domains tied to DDoS for hire services and sending warnings to around 75,000 users of those platforms. It's the latest in a long-running push to dismantle the booter and stressor ecosystem. That's a wrap for today's Cyber Daily News. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest in cybersecurity. Catch us on YouTube and your favorite podcast platform. See you next time.